Guys, am I audible? Please let me know. Guys, am I audible? Please let me know in the chat box. You can start the session. Okay, fine. Okay. Guys, last session I was discussed about matrices, right? Matrices, like a basics. What does that mean by matrix? Matrix usually two-dimension array, and it has rows and columns, right? Rows and columns. Can say m by n, right? M is like a rows and n is like a columns. Okay, I have given some assignment questions, right? Have you solved those questions? Please let me know. Guys, when you solve the assignment question, then only you only able to improve your problem solving skills. Try to solve the assignment problems and try to do more lead code. Lead code. Okay, guys. Today I'm not going to take the session long session. I'm just taking the 30 minutes only. I will give you some sample questions like how to do solve those questions like assignments. Okay, they have given one array 7, 8, 9. So want to print in this pattern like this. Okay, so we have already solved some spiral printing, right? If you understand that question, that problem means you can solve any question. You have to print this pattern like in this way, like 1, 4, 2, 7, 5, 3, 8, 6, 9. Output supposed to be like this. This is your assignment. I am giving you a hint here. You have to start from here. You have to come down here, right? Come down here. And every matrix, sorry, every row, what is happening? It is going one, like suppose here 0, 0. This is 0, 0. This value is 1, 0. What is the about this value? This value is 0, 1. Wait, yes. This value is 0, 1. 0, 1. Like what is the relation here? Let's suppose here the value 2, 0. This value will be 1, 1. This value will be 2, 0. What is the relation between these things, these elements? Every element, like let's suppose there is an element xy. If we go top, what is happening? The elements x is going to be decreased by 1, y is going to be increasing by 1, right guys? Sorry. What the relation guys here? X minus y and y plus 1, right? Every element you can see here 2, 0, next one 1, 1, next 2, 0. How is it happening? Sorry, this is 0, 2. How this is happening? Every element is going to be decreased by 1, x value is decreased by 1 and y value is going to be increased by 1. right guys? Okay, once we reach this point, what we have to do? We have to go this way, right guys? The same pattern we follow. This is your assignment question, guys. Try to solve this question. Possible, take a screenshot of this one. Fine. Okay, next problem is, we have given one array. So they have given one 3 by 3 matrix. When there is a 0 is in one element, we have to make that particular row and that particular column, sorry, row and column has to make it as a 0. So my output supposed to be like this: 1, 0, 3, 0, 0, 7, 8, 0, 20. This is also 0, guys. Why we are making this? Because here we got one element that index is 1, 1, 1. So one row, I mean this row, first row, right guys? This row and this column, all the elements we are going to be make it as a 0. This is the question. Let's solve this question, guys. Let's solve this question. Okay. Guys, you already know how to traverse the elements, right? Traverse to the matrix. How we are going to be traverse? Right? We have to use 2 for loops. This is outer loop is represent for the rows. This one the elements, column elements, right guys? Okay. Let's suppose this is int I less than or equal to rows. This one int j less than or equal to columns, right guys? Now we have to check every element, right guys? If suppose every element we want to check, if there is any element is 0, what we have to do? We have to make that row and that column, make it, we have to make it as a 0. How we are going to be do that one? Let's suppose here we are checking if a of I j equal to 0. If any element is there, what we have to do? We have to make ith row and jth column, all the elements we are going to be make it as a 0. Right guys? Okay. Let's suppose I did like this. Let's suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 7, 8, 9, 20. I have given, right? They asked to make every element as a 0, right? Every element means if there is an element is 0, that particular row, that particular column, we have to make it as a 0. So if I did directly, what will happen? Let's suppose I got 0 here. In this point, I got a 0. While traversing, first I go to 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one is 0. So if I do directly 1, 0, 3, 4, 0, sorry, 0, 0, 7, 0, sorry, 8, 0, 20. So if I do directly, what will happen, guys? Guys, don't worry, I will tell you. Let's suppose here we make it as a 0, all the elements. Again, we traverse to here, right? Next element. This is 0. Then what we have to do? We have to make it all the zeros. All the columns and rows is going to be set to be 0. Right, guys? Okay, fine. If you come here, nothing is there. But here, if you come here, is already 0. We have made it as a 0. So this is also all the elements is zeros. Right, guys? So what will happen, guys, in that case? Output is not the same as we expected. You can see here 1, 0. Here the output supposed to be like this, right guys? 0, 0, 0, 8, 0, something 20. Output supposed to be like this. But what happened, guys, in this case? If you do directly add as a zeros, other rows, other columns also affected, right guys? So that's why what we have to do, we have to check only zeros. We have to check only zeros and make as a zeros, but other elements, other things should not disturb, right? Should not disturb. For that one, what I am going to be do, when the element is 0, let's suppose if any element is 0, what I am going to do, that particular ith row and ith column, what I will do, I will make it as equal to 1, minus 1, minus 1. Okay. Let's suppose here we have given one matrix here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. Guys, this is the hard level question, guys. Odd level question. 1, 2, 3. This is the input, guys. 4, 0, 7, 20, 25, 30. This is the 4. This is the, they have given 3 by 3 matrix. Now what I am going to do, when there is a 0 element, I am going to be make ith row and ith column is, I am putting as a minus 1. So what I am doing, 1, minus 1, 3, minus 1, 0, minus 1, 20, minus 1, 30. Right guys? Now what I will do, again once again I am going to be traverse. Once again I am going to be traverse. That time if any element is equal to minus 1, if any element equal to minus 1, in that case what will you do? I am going to make that element as a 0. Let's see. Now the array is initially given, the input is this one. Now when there is a 0 comes, that element, that row and that column I make it as a minus 1. From that one, what I am going to be do? Again, once again I am going to be traverse through the matrix. When there is a minus 1, what I am going to be do? I am putting as a 0. Right? 0, 0, 0, 20, 0, and 30. Guys, check. This is as we expected, right guys? You can clearly see. So if any condition, like if they may give you like make it as a zeros, so if you directly take zeros, it may affect the other elements, right guys? Here you can clearly see, if I take zeros directly, what is going to be happen? Again, while traversing, if there is a possibility to get other elements also get zeros, right? We will get those elements as a 0. So that time unnecessarily we are going to be make that particular rows and columns is going to be zeros, going to be make a zeros. So in that way, what we'll get, we won't get a exact output. So that's why we want different one. So that's why I'm making as a minus 1 instead of the zeros. I'm making as a minus 1 first. After I will take it as another traversal. In the traversal, what I am going to be do? Oh, where is a minus 1? Then that element is going to be make it as a 0. Right? Understand, guys? Guys, please let me know. Understand? Have you understand? Okay. Let's implement this one. Let's try to implement this one. Take minute. Okay. Let's implement this one. There is given one matrix here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. We want to make it as a 0. When there is one element, that row and that column is supposed to be make it as a 0. Here the element is 1, 1, right? So this row and this column is going to be make it as a 0. Let's implement. I've explained somewhere, right? In that way, we are going to be implement that one. When there is a matrix, we have to use two for loop, right, guys? This is represent die, means rows. This is the J, it will represent the column. Fine. Now what we have to do, we have to check whether the particular element is 0 or not. How? If A of I J equal to 0, if any element is 0, what we have to do? We have to make it as a zeros, right, guys? Make it as that particular row and column going to be make it as a zero. That's why I'm going to be another function here, like make column rows zeros. Like I'm taking like this zeros. Okay, guys, here check here. What we need the parameters here? Here the matrix and the column here. Here row and column we need, right, guys? Okay. Now we have to call from here. When there is a 0, we have to call this one, right? We are calling this one, this method. We are giving the same matrix. The I and J we are calling here. Okay. Now what we have to do? We have to make that row and that column make it 0, right? So how we are going to be do that one? We have to take one for loop here. This for loop is to make entire rows to be zeros. Rows, zeros. How we are going to be do? Check this one, guys. We know I value, right? I is about zeros. So int I, let's suppose here I am taking the one variable as a row equal to 0, row less than that particular row length, row plus plus. Here what will you do in this loop? This is rows, right? I am going to be make as a matrix this particular I is same and row. What will happen, guys, in this case? Let's suppose here, let's suppose this is the row. Here I value is always the same, right? Let's suppose this is the 1, 1 0, 1 1 and 1 2. Here I value is same, right? So that's why what I'm going to be take here, this matrix I and row is going to be change everything, like initially here 0 1 2, right, guys? This is going to be make it as a zeros. Okay, rows we have done. Same way we have to done for the column also, right? Column also we have to done. How we are going to be done? What will happen in this case? Column case. Let's suppose this is the column. Let's suppose this value is 1. What is the first value, guys? This is 0 1. This is the 1 1 and this is the 2 1, right, guys? So how we are going to be make that one? Array of column and here J equal to 0, right, guys? In this way we are going to be do that one. Okay, fine. Then what is the time complexity of this one, guys? What is the time complexity and space complexity of this one? Guys, please let me know. What is the time complexity and space complexity? No, it's not a O of n square. It is O of n cube. I will show you how. Guys, here let me know in the we are calling a one helper function, right? Here the time complexity O of n here. This is O of n. Total will be O of n plus O of n. What will be there? O of n. This is O of n. Where we are calling this function? This function calling from here. Here. Right, guys? What is this one? O of n into this is also O of n. In the worst case, what is the time complexity here? Time complexity of this one is O of n cube. O of n cube. So what will be the space complexity for this one? Space complexity, are we using any extra space here? We are not using any extra space here. So space will be same. O of 1. Guys, have you understand this one? How I have implemented? I have made it as a zeros and columns, zeros and rows and columns. Make it as a zero. Have you understand this one? Yes, fine. Let's suppose is here we are implementing by using the normal brute force. Here time complexity O of n cube. So we have to do better. Optimize this one. We have to optimize this one. How we are going to be optimize this one? Let's suppose, guys, here you have to understand one thing. When there is optimization means when there is a problem implemented by using the any brute force approach, you have to make it reduce something like here O of n cube, right? You have to make it as a O of n square. Let's suppose you have implemented by O of n square. Brute force is O of n square. Optimization is supposed to be O of n or O of n log n. Right, guys? Let's suppose you have implemented a brute force algorithm. One algorithm using the brute force. There O of n is that complexity, time complexity. Maybe you have to implement by O n log n. So always remember, when you are in interview, interviewer may told you like you can implement better than this. That means you have to implement brute force approach to, you have already implemented in a brute force, right? You have to reduce the time complexity, this one. I hope you understand. If there is a O of n cube complexity, you have to make it as a O of n square. If there is O of n square brute force approach, you have to make it as a O of n or O of n log n. If there is O of n, you may have to do O of n log n. O of log n. I hope you clear this one. Okay. Now try to optimize our solution here. No, it's not like that. It's not always like a, but better to, if you have solved the problem, that's good enough. But if you like optimize that one, you will have a more priority than compared to others. That is the thing. Because in the like after the after the second level and third level, after technical round will be there, right? What will happen in this case? Mostly they won't ask from the lot of generic things. They simply ask you to how you have implemented these problems in the that third round. They may mostly ask like that only. So you have to how you have implemented, you have to explain those. If suppose they may ask you like, is there any better way to implement that one? That's one. If you know optimize the solution, that's only help you. That is the thing. Okay. Let's optimize this problem. We have done the previous problem is O of n cube, right? Now try to reduce this one. Okay, guys, they have given one array here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, what I will do here, I will take two arrays here. How I'm going to be take two arrays? One array for the column, another array for the row. I'm going to be take one for, this is the, I will take it as a column array. This will I call it as a row array. Okay, row array. Now what I will do? Let's suppose if I get any element, let's suppose if any element is equal to 0, what I will do? That particular index of the row index, row array and column array, I will make it as a 0. Let's suppose here column array is there, row array is there, right? Now we know already here I means it represents the row, J means it represents the column, right, guys? So now what I will do? I'm making row array of I equal to 0 and column array of j equal to 0. What will happen, guys, in this case? I have got here 0, right? So I am making this one is 0 and this one is 0. Right, guys? Okay, let's, instead of that one, you can take another thing, like you can take it as a -1 here. Here, -1 here. Because all the elements by default zeros, right? So that's why I will take it as a -1 here. Here also I will take it as a -1. Okay. Now what will I do? After that, while traversing these two elements, let's suppose in the second thing I'm going to be traversed to the array, right? If any element, let's suppose I got one element, every element is ij, right? Ij, right? What I will do in this case, I am going to be check. For example, first one is a row of I. If row of I equal to 0 or column of j equal to 0. In this case, what I will take? I make it as that particular element as 0. Guys, understand this one, how I am doing? Guys, have you understand this one? Please let me know. I will explain again. If not understand, I will explain again. Yes, sorry, -1 and -1. Guys, please let me know. Yes, yes. Guys, have you understand this one? Please let me know. If you didn't understand, I will explain. Because this is a odd level question, guys. Yes. So now tell me, what will be the time complexity and what will be the space complexity for this one? Okay, I will implement here, then you can tell me. Okay, first thing, I need two arrays, right? One column array, one row array, right, guys? One column array. Guys, what is the size for this one? This size is m by n, right? Our matrix size is m by n, so I make it as a, here column is n, right? So I am taking it as a n. Okay. Here I am taking as a row array. What is the size of this row array? Row array size. This is represent the m represent the row, right? So I am taking as a m. Okay, fine. Now we have what we have to do? We have to traverse to the matrix. So two loops. Right, guys? If any element, let's suppose the matrix of ij equal to 0. So what I am going to do in this case? I am going to make it as a row array of I. Clearly see, guys? Here I for the row, j for the column. I make it as a here -1 and column array of j equal to -1. Let's suppose here you can clearly see. Let's suppose one array is there. I am taking a different array here. Let's suppose 0, 2, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 0, 7, 8. I am taking this one, guys. This is the column array. This is the row array. Okay. While traversing, here we got a 0. Right, guys? This element is 0, 0, right? So I am make it as this column array 0 here, 0th index. Here, this is a row array. Here also we are going to make it as a 0. Fine. Again, we are traversing. Here we got what this value? This value is 1, 2, right, guys? So this one value I make it as a 0. And row 8, what is, sorry, here 1 is the row, right? So I make it as a, this row position as a 0. and here 2, right? 2 column value 2, here I am making as a 0. Okay guys, understand? Now comes to here. This part here we got as a 0, right? So what is this element? This is the 2, 1, right? So here 2 row value is making as a 0 and this column value is making as a 0. We know, I've already told you, when there is a 0, all the rows and all the columns we have to make it as a 0, right? This 0, when we have to make it as a 0. This is the, and this is 0, and we have to make it as entire thing as 0. This is also 0. This is 0. This is, we have to make it as 0. This is, we have to make it as 0. So all the elements is supposed to be, this will supposed to be output, guys. Right? So how we are going to do the next step? Again, we have to traverse this thing. Sorry guys, I have given as a zeros. I am sorry. We have to give it as a -1, guys. Here in the array, we have to give it as a -1. Here -1. Sorry guys. Here we have to give -1. Okay. Now we have to traverse. We have to traverse, right? So how we are going to be traverse here? Again 2 for loop. Now we know we got the I element and J element, right? Every inside we got a IJ, right? So what we have to check? If row of I equal to 0 or, sorry guys, here also -1. Column of J equal to -1. So if anywhere it is going to be like, if there is a -1, I am going to be make it as a, that element is a 0. Guys, understand this one? Guys, now tell me what is the space and what is the time complexity of this one? Guys, please let me know what is the time complexity and what is the space complexity of this one. Please let me know in the chat box. Yes, time complexity will be O of n square. Here also plus O of n square. Total will be O of n square. Fine. Guys, what is the space complexity here? Yes, space complexity will be O of n. Why O of n? Because we are taking here one row array, size of n, column array is size of n. So total O of n plus O of n. That will be O of n. Right, guys? Okay, let's implement these two solution. Then we can try to implement better than this one. Now try to implement in Eclipse. Okay, now try to implement that one. Okay, this is not optimized, guys. Okay, we need a static method. I'm not going to be written anything, so that's why void. Okay, non-optimized solution. Okay, what I need here, I need one matrix. I'm taking care that matrix as an array. ARR, I'm taking care this one. If you confuse, you can take it as a matrix. Fine. So what I need here, guys, please let me know. I need rows and columns, right, guys? Rows. Int row equal to this matrix dot length. Int column equal to matrix of 0 dot length. Fine. Now we know we have to iterate through this one. So first one less than rows, and second loop less than column, right, guys? Now what we have to do? We have to check if any element, let's suppose Here matrix of A of ij equal to 0. What I have to do? I need to make it as a rows and columns supposed to be zeros, right? So that's why I need a one helper method. Make rows and columns 0. Okay. Here what parameters I need? I need that particular matrix and int current row. And what I need another current column. Okay. Right? From when there is 0, we have to call from here, right? How we are going to be call this one? Matrix. And what we need? I need row. Here row is I, column is j. Right, guys? Okay, fine. Okay. Now what we have to do? We have to make it that particular row and column as supposed to be 0, right? So here I am taking int I equal to 0, I less than that size, right? Matrix dot length, right guys? I plus here. So what we have to do? We have to make that row, that entire row supposed to be 0. So how I am going to be do that one? Matrix of I here current row and column value this one, right? So you can make it as a, this one is a column. So how I'm going to put matrix of current column and I equal to 0. That means what it will do? It is going to be make that current row will be make it all the elements is 0. Let's suppose I value is here, current column is 1. What is going to be happen? 1 0 1 1 1 2. Right? Because all the elements is 0. Now what we have to do? For columns we have done. Now we have to, sorry, here rows we have done. This is current row, guys. Sorry. Now what we have to do? We have to make it for the current column. So what we have to do in this case? This is supposed to be current column. Right, guys? Now what we have done? We have made it as a one helper method like this. From there, here we have called. Okay. Now we have to test it one, right? We have to test matrix. I am called as a matrix. Array, I am giving it a 3 by 3 array. 1, 2, 3. Next one 4, 0, 5. The next one 6, 7, 8. Okay, I have given. I am just calling this one matrix. And after that, I am going to be, I need to call this one. I need to print this one. So I am going to be print. Guys, do how I am doing here. Matrix of I. Guys, check what happened in this case. After printing this one, what happened? All the elements came as a zeros. Right, guys? Why it is came as a zeros? Because I have given here a setting the elements as a zeros here. So that's why it is coming like directly if we give the zeros, problem is here. So what we have to do? We have to make it as a -1. We have to make it as a -1. So we have done this case. Now what we have to do? We have to check. We have to traverse another time. We have to traverse another time. If there is any element is -1, if any element is -1, we have to make that element as a 0. Right, guys? Here, now print this one. What is happened? Guys, check, guys. This row and this column came as a zeros, right, guys? Have you understand this one? Why I am not taking here? Why I am not making as a zeros here? Because if you make it as a zeros, while traversing, other elements also will be affected, right? If you directly make it as a zeros, other non-zero elements also going to be affected. Right, guys? That's why I have take it as a here -1. Guys, have you understand this one? This is a very, very simple approach, guys. This is a brute force approach. I can call it as a, we can call it as a brute force approach. Here, time complexity is O of n cube. Why O of n cube? Here you can see this is 2 for loop. So O of n into, here we are calling another one method. That method is O of n plus O of n. That means that means O of n cube total. Guys, here I will show you here. O of n square into O of n square into O of n plus n, guys. Right, guys? What will happen total? O of n square into, sorry, this plus. Wait. O of n square into O of n plus n plus O of n square. What is that? After that, what will happen, guys? This will give O of n cube plus O of n square. Guys, which is bigger? We have to take that one, right? So, time complexity for this one is O of n cube. Guys, understand this problem? How we have implemented this one? This is the normal brute force approach. While solving, let's suppose they have given this question. You don't know how to do that one. You didn't get the brute force approach, like normal optimized approach. You can solve this one. This is okay, fine. They may accept you. If your other questions have done well in an optimized way, if this odd level question you didn't do in an optimized way also, no issues. Okay, fine. Let's try to implement in optimized way. Okay, try to implement in the optimized way. Okay, guys, check this one. Okay, I'm taking as a static method. I don't written anything. That's why void. Method find. I called as a method name is a find. Okay, I need one matrix, right? So this is the matrix. Okay, what I need initially? Int column int row equal to matrix dot length int column equal to matrix of 0 dot length. This is the common, guys. These two. Any question, any matrix question, you have to do this one. Okay, fine. Now what we have to do? We have to traverse first. Right, guys? We have to traverse and we have to find it a element. Whether that is the 0 or not. Guys, this is an optimized approach, right? So what we have to take initially? We have to take row array here. Row array. What is the size, guys? Row array, I told you. Row array size is supposed to be same as the row size. Right, guys? What is the column array size? Guys, column array size same as a column size. Guys, understand this one? Okay, fine. And another for loop for the go inside, right? This is for the column. Okay. Now what we have to do? We have to check the elements. Anyway, we have to check, right? Every element we have to check whether that element is 0 or not. How we are going to be check? Array of I, array of j equal to 0. If 0, that means if any element is 0, what we have to do? We have to make it that row index, row array of that I index is supposed to be make it as a -1. I already told you why we have to take it as a -1. because all the elements initially, while after the declaration, what is the element in that array? By default, zeros. So we have to make it as a different one. So that's why I'm taking as a -1. You can take -2 also fine. You can take -100 also fine. No issues, guys. Now column array of that index. What we have to take here? We have to take j. Here also -1. Right, guys? Now what we have to do? We have to traverse through another one time. How we are going to be traverse through array? We have to make it as the same way, right, guys? Same way. Now what we have to check here? If row array, if row array of I equal to -1 or column array of j equal to -1. In any case, any one is true is fine, guys. Not equal to here. Any one is r is fine. So what we have to do in that case? That matrix, that element, we are going to be make it as a zeros. Right, guys? Let's check now what we have to do. We have to call this method and try to print this one. Okay, guys? Okay. Let's check, guys, what is going to be print here. Here you can clearly see 103. This row is entire row is 0. This entire column is 0. Other elements is same. You can take one is there, 3 is there. Guys, you can clearly see, guys. Guys, you can see the 2 is not there, 7 is not there, 5 is not there, and 4 is not there. Guys, understand what is the time complexity of this one and space complexity of this one? We have taken 2 extra spaces, O of n plus O of n. Right, guys? This is the space complexity. What the time complexity, guys? O of n square only. Why? Because for inside for. That's why O of n square. Right, guys? O of n square. Okay, fine. I hope you clear on this one. Please let me know, guys. This optimized approach, have you understand, guys? Please let me know. Yes. Before what we have done? We have O of n cube. Now what we have done? Now what we have to do? How we have implemented? Here O of n square and O of n cube and O of 1 is a time and space complexity. After that, optimization O of n square and time complexity, space complexity O of n. We have reduced a little bit. How we are, let's suppose that is a 10 by 10 matrix. Let's suppose in the first case it will run 10 cube. That means 1000 times it is going to be run. But this problem, how many times it is going to be run? It is run only 100 times. Okay. Now the difference here it is taking just O of 1 time, no extra space, but here it is taking the extra space. Guys, have you optimized better than this one? Better than this one? Let's check. Can we optimize better than this one or not? Let's check. Guys, here what we have done in a second way. Second way, how we have done? O of n space, time complexity and space complexity O of n. Why this O of n? We have taken 2 arrays, column array and row array. We have taken. But is that necessary? Taken that one? Is necessary we have to take that one? Instead of we can't implement that one? Let's check. We have given already here 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's suppose we have given Guys, when there is a first row, this row and this row, if you use these elements, then what is the use of, again we have taken the column array and row array. Let's use these elements. The first row and first column we can use, instead of the extra space, we can use this one. Let's try to implement how we are going to be use that one. Okay. Now what I will do? When there is any element, let's suppose if I am going to be traversing ij equal to 0, what I will do? I need to that first row, sorry, that particular row. Let's suppose here we got, right? What is the row here? What is the row element here? 1, right? That is the first element, 1 0. Right guys, 1 0. That element I am going to be make it as a 0. How? A of, check guys, 1 0. I make it as a -1. For difference, I am taking as here, I am taking as a -1. Okay guys, I am making as a -1. This element is -1 now. Is it fine? No. We have to make that first row also, the row, this one also, we have to make it as a -1. Now, 1 and 1, right? Of this element will get 0, 1, right? This element is 0, 1. So, A of 0, 1 am going to be made it as a -1. Let's suppose I am giving the one example here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 7, 8, here 6, 0. Now, what elements I supposed to make it as a 0? What is this element? This is 2, 2. So that's why I have to make it as a 0, 2 and 2, 0. These two elements I have to make it as a 0. Where is here 2, 0, 2, 0 element? This one, right? I am going to be make it as a 0. Sorry, I am going to be here to make it as a 0. I am setting as a this one value as a -1. Here 2, 0. Where 2, 0 we have given here? This is the 2, 0. Where is the 0, 2 here? This is 0, 2. This is 0, 2, right guys? This value I am setting as a -1. -1. Now what I will do guys? After completion of this one, I am going to be again traverse from 1th place. Here instead of the 0 I am taking as a 1. Here also instead of 0 I am taking as a 1. Right guys? Why? Usually we are taking as int I equal to 0, I less than rho, right? I don't want that one. Why? Because if I take this one, let's suppose here I make it as a 0, let's suppose here -1, I have to make it as a this one and this one I have to make it as a -1. So what will happen in this case? We won't get the correct output. So that's why what I will do, I omit these three things, like the first row and first column I am going to omit initially. Other elements I am going to be make it as a zeros based on the these particular elements. I will show you here. Here I am taking the column also start from 0. 1. And this element supposed to be less than or equal to column, right guys? What I will do? If any element, let's suppose the ij element is there, what I am going to be check? If array of 0i equal to -1 or that array of I0, right guys? This will give the this value, this side value, and this will give the guys, this will give the these particular values, right guys? This column related values it is going to be give, right guys? We are checking whether it is a -1 or -1 or not. Here you can clearly check I am taking R. So if there is any case is a -1, then what I will take? Array of ij equal to 0. Right guys? Okay. Guys, here you can clearly check from where I have taken this one. I have taken from the -1 only. Instead of the 0, I am taking as a -1 only. Now what we have to do? I have to take another loop to make it as that zeroth column to check for the zeroth row. Right, guys? How I am going to be do that one? Let's check. Int I equal to 0, I less than, let's suppose row, I plus plus. Here what we have to do? Array of this element is 0, this is the I, right, guys? If any element is if any possible equal to minus 1, what I am going to be do? I am going to be that element is making as a 0. Same for the columns also. Same for the columns also. How I am going to be do? If array of I, j equal to minus 1, I am going to be make it as a that element I0 equal to 0. Guys, have you understand how I have implemented this one? Please let me know, guys. Guys, this is also same as like a row value and column. Okay, I will explain you again. Guys, here, what I am taking instead of the row array, instead of the column array, what I am taking instead of the row array, I am taking 0th row. Here I am taking 0th column. Right, guys? This is 0th column, right? And this is 0th row, right? This is the row, this is the column. Right, guys? Have you understand? Guys, let's suppose these are the 0th rows and 0th columns, right? Instead of the using separate extra row array and row column, I'm using these things only. If any element, let's suppose, if any element array of ij equal to 0, what I'm going, let's suppose this is a 0. Let's suppose this is the 0. What I'm going to make? I'm going to make that 0th column element. This is the 0th column, right? Sorry. Yes, this is the 0th column, right? How we are going to be get that one? Guys, how we are going to be get that one? I0, right, guys? I0. Let's suppose this is the 0, this element 2, right? This is the I value, this is the J value. Where is this element 2, 0? This first element will be 2, 0, right? That element, so I0 here, I0, making as it minus 1. Minus 1. Okay. Now what we have done for the column here, this column, 0th column we have updated, but this 0th row also there, right? How we are going to be do that one? Array of 0, j, here you can clearly say j equal to minus 1. Guys, have you understand? This is the only simple concept. This is the only logic here. This is the only logic here. Guys, have you understand this one? Please let me know. Guys, here we have taken, we are checking the A of ij, that particular ijth element. If this element is 0, that means what I have to do? I have to make it as a 2 things. 0th column, 0th row. What is the 0th row? Sir, 0th row means like it will be like this, right? First one. Column means like this, right? Here you can see. Here column value is 0. Here row value is 0. You can see, guys. Here 0, 0, 0, 1. Here 0, 2. Here the element 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0. Right, guys? You can check. In a column array, what is the values are changing? In a column array, what values are changing, and row array, what values are changing? Guys, in row array, in a row array, let's suppose row array, that the row value 0, right? That is constant, other values are changing. In a column array, here first column, 0th row, is this one 0th row and 0th column. What is changing here? Here Here column is constant, right guys? Column is constant. Row is changing. You can clearly see here. Here 0 0 1 0 2 0. What is here constant? The column is constant. J value is constant here, right guys? Guys, clear this one. Please let me know. Guys, please let me know, guys. If need, I will. Okay, clear, right? So we have taken here -1. Okay. Now what I'm taking here? I'm going to be check the elements, right? Check. I just want to again iterate through the matrix. But here what I'm going to be do? I'm just leaving 0 row and 0 column. I'm just leaving temporarily that loop. I'm just leaving. How I'm going to be leave? I'm starting the I value from the 1, n column value from the 1, right guys? Guys, here let's suppose this is the matrix 0 1 2. This value is 0 1 2. If I take 1 1, from where it is going to be start? Let's suppose this. Guys, I have omitted this value and this row and this column I have left. Then what is the other values? These values, right? These values only I am going to be check. How I am going to be check here? If let's suppose A of ij, right? So I am going to be check rows, first row array of that particular. What is the row value here? 0 I, right guys? This is the 0th one, 0th row. If any case it's a -1, we are going to be make it as a or again we have to check for another. What is the other thing? That column value. Column value, how we are going to be check? Array of j 0, right guys? Guys, have you understand this one? If 0 equal to 1, we have to make it as a that element j equal to 0, right guys? Now what are doing? What we have to do after that? We have left to 0th index and 0th column, right? For that one, we have to run again 2 things here. This is for the 0th row. This is for the 0th column. If array of 0 of I equal to -1, what I will do in this case? I'm just making as a 0. Here also column, how we are going to be check that column? Array of j 0, right guys? If equal to -1, that means I'm making as a that element as a 0. Guys, clear, right? Let's implement this one in Eclipse. This is the best approach, guys. Compared to other two, this is the best approach. Okay, guys, please let me know what is the time complexity and what is the space complexity here. Guys, please let me know what is the time complexity and what is the space complexity here. Guys, please let me know in the chat box what is the time complexity and space complexity here. Okay. Time complexity here, O of n square. Space complexity here, O of n cube. Sorry, O of 1. O of 1. Why guys O of 1? Because I'm not using any extra space. No extra space. Right guys? What about why O of n square? Because this is the array matrix 2D array. So 2 loops, for loop and for loop. So that's why O of n square. Okay, fine guys. I hope you clear on this one. So where we have started to implement this one? What is the brute force approach? where the we have like brute force approach, and in the brute force approach, what the time and space complexity? Time complexity initially O of n cube. After that space complexity for that one O of 1. It is a brute force approach. Minimal, like a minimal optimization. First time, what is the space complexity? That time time complexity O of n square, but space complexity O of n. Okay, after better optimization, what is the time complexity? O of n square. Space complexity is O of n. Guys, tell me in these three things, which one is the best one? Which is the best one, guys? First approach, and second approach, third approach. Which one? Third one is the best one. This approach is the best. Here time complexity O of n square. Here also O of n square. But here we are taking extra space. But here we are not taking any extra space. That's why this is the best approach. Okay, guys, let's implement this one. Guys, 1 minute, guys. Okay, guys, better optimization. Let's check how we are going to be do that. Okay, it's the static method. I'm not going to be written anything. That's why void and optimized method. I need here one parameter as a that matrix, right, guys? Matrix. Okay. Now initially what we need? We need rows. How we are going to be get the rows? Matrix dot length. What other thing I need? I need column. How we are going to be get the column? Matrix of 0 minus length. Right, guys? We have done this one. Now what we have to do? Do we need any extra space here? We don't need. So that's why directly I am coming to the for loop, two for loops here. Here it is going to be check for rows. Another for loop is going to be check for the columns. Here column. Okay. What we have to do? If any element are that matrix of I, J, if any element is equal to 0, what we have to do? I'm going to make it as 0th column and 0th row, right? Guys, 0th row, 0 row means in that element I value will be in that row all I values will be zeros. So that's why matrix of 0 I. Okay, guys. Guys, clear this one? For here J, guys, J, that particular J is I'm going to be make it as a -1. I told you why -1? Because if I make it as a zeros, it may affect other values as well. So that's why I'm just making it as a -1. Okay. Here just tell me in the column value, what will be the constant? Always you can see 0, right? Column value, what is the constant in that place? Like check, guys, 1 0 2 0 3 0 like that. That is the column, right? 0 is the constant here. First value is going to be changed, so that's why I'm making as a J here. Okay, guys. So every time this value is going to be changed. Let's suppose here. Let's suppose here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, 10, 11, 0. Here let's take it as a 0. Guys, not here. Here let's take it here 0. Here 0. What is the values, guys? Here this is 0 valued 1, 2. Here also 0, 1, 2, 3. What is this value? This index value 1, 1, 3, right? 1, 3. Right, guys? 1, 3. Here, what is the I value, guys? Here, I value is 1, J value is 3 here. Right, guys? So, what we have to do? Come to here. That row. That what is this row? This row value, what is in this column? In this column array, that particular element, right? What is this one? First row. 1, 1, 0. That's supposed to be 1, 0. What is the 1, 0 here? This one is 1, 0, right? I'm going to make that one as a -1. Okay, now come check for that 0th row. Here 1, 3. So J value 3. Here we have to check where is the 0, 3. 0, 3. This is the 0, 3, right? I am going to make that value as a -1. Guys, clear? Okay, fine. I hope you clear on this one. Okay, we have done this one. Now what we have to do? We have to check. We have to traverse again through this matrix. Here from 1, not 0, from 1. Again also J also 1. It is also column. Right, guys? Now what we have to do? We have to check. Here usually we come inside means we get the ij values, right? So what we have to do? We have to check whether array of, guys, what we have to check? I value. Where is the I value here? Guys, here you can check 0, I is the matrix, guys. Equal to -1 or matrix of J 0 equal to -1. If any case that is the -1, what you have to do? We have to make that element I J equal to 0. Right, guys? Okay, fine. Now what we have left? Here we have checked from the 0th row and 0th column. We have left first 0, 1 values we have checked. First row and first column we have to check 0th row and 0th column, right, guys? Now let's check that one. How we are going to make that one? If matrix of 0, I equal to -1, then now what we have to do? That element we have to make it as a 0, right, guys? Equal to 0. Then what is the other condition? If same value, same J, here also I guess. Because we are trying to add the rows and columns in only one value. So that's why I am doing like this. I0 equal to 0. Okay, done. Now try to test this one. How we are going to be test this one? Okay, guys. Guys, check this one. We gave same, right, guys? Guys, try to solve this type of questions, guys. Guys, this is the odd level question. How we have implemented, like let's suppose in an interviewer, like in third round will be, like a fourth round will be, like the managerial round. Like your manager will be, that product manager will be going to be conduct the technical round, guys, technical interview. What will happen, guys? Let's suppose this is the question they have given you. They may ask you to, like, how we are going to be implement. Let's suppose you have implemented a brute force. You have to come here. You have to explain him explain him why this is not the best one. They may tell you this is not best one. You have to tell some example. Let's suppose there is a 10 by 10 matrix. First one we going to be run in 1,000 times. Second one is run in 100 times. Third one is also run in 100 times. Same way, we have to take it as a, this is the no extra space. This is of the 10 space occupied. This is no space occupied, right? You have to explain him in this way. Then only he will be satisfied, right, guys? The technical interviewer will be satisfied. Okay, you are good compared to others, like that. Okay, guys, I'm going to be end this session. Before that, I'm going to be tell you, like, tomorrow I'm going to be explaining about very important things. Those are intervals. Like they will give you some intervals, like how we are going to be measure that intervals, measure intervals. Maybe they have given one class timings. They may ask you to find a minimum number of classrooms required. Minimum classroom required. Let's suppose they have given one train arrival and departure time. Minimum number of platforms required. Platforms required. And these questions I'm going to be explained by using the number line. There is a, in a math we know there is a number line, right, guys? There is a, let's suppose this is the number line. -1, -2, -3, 0, 1, 2, 3. I hope you know this one. By using this one, the simple way how we are going to be solve this problem. These are all hard level questions, guys. Hard level questions, guys. How we are going to be solve these questions, make it as easy by using this number line I'm going to be explained tomorrow. Okay, guys. I hope you clear on today class. Guys, please try to solve more number of questions, guys. Like, let's suppose I have given some patterns, right? I have given like this one example, I mean one assignment. Try to print, I have given you this way, right? You try to print like this. Try to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One supposed to be go up, second supposed to be down, third supposed to be up, next one supposed to be down, next one supposed to be up. Like that, if you try to solve this question, guys, you always try to remember one thing. Which questions I'm going to be, I'm here explaining, those questions not guaranteed to come in an interview. But I'm giving you some assignment. If you solve this assignment, you will get the idea like how, when there is a problem, you will get an idea like how to solve the problem. How to solve the problem. In this way, you are going to be improve your coding skills. Coding skills. So try to solve more number of assignment problems, guys. Assignment problems. If you are using the lead code, I already told you in a lead code, there is a section called similar questions. Similar questions. Try to solve those questions. You will be definitely within a 30 days. Try to solve at least 5 to 10 questions a day. Around like a 200 to 300 questions in a month. Definitely you can easily clear within a month. You can clear the second round easily. Okay, guys. I'm ending the session now. Please let me know if you guys have any doubts. Guys, please let me know, guys. I'm ending the session. Guys, we have to solve in the upcoming days. We are going to be solve more and more questions by using dynamic programming, backtracing, recursion based, and other questions different like in arrays and strings, different other patterns also there. I'm going to be explain those as well. So try to utilize this opportunity, guys. Okay, guys, I'm ending the session now. Please let me know if you guys have any queries. Okay, I hope you clear. Okay guys, I'm ending the session now.